Hello everyone, this is GamePro24X, and today I'll be making a quick starter guide for those who are planning on purchasing the definitive edition of Metal Gear Solid 5, but have not yet experienced the Phantom Pain. So I'm going to try to keep this guide as spoiler free as possible, and use this as like an aid for those who want to know where they should start investing stuff and start doing certain things early on. That way it'll help their entire experience become a lot more smoother and better, because a lot of tips that I'm going to share today are tips that I kind of wish I knew about when I first started, because they make a lot of things a lot easier and a lot more streamlined. So without further ado, let's get started on this first piece here. Now, if you're purchasing the definitive edition and you currently have the Phantom Pain by itself, you can actually transfer the data. This information I'm showing you on the screen was on Konami's website for the definitive edition when you just scroll all the way down. So for those who are on Xbox One and on PC and you purchase the definitive edition, your Phantom Pain save will automatically be carried over. However, on PS4, there are some steps for you to import your save. Now, it seems that once you have imported your save, I believe you cannot play on that save anymore. And on the bottom, it also warns you to not play on the original game after you have imported your save into the definitive edition. However, because we're on PS4, we can actually try and experiment a little bit. I do not own the definitive edition yet. I will in about 2 days. So I'm going to go ahead and do some tests and see what happens if I do. What happens if I save out a copy of my save, import the copy into the definitive edition, but go back into the Phantom Pain with the other copy? Will I be able to play it? Who knows? So that's something that I'm going to be testing out. And for those of you who are in my situation, who have the Phantom Pain and have the definitive edition, and they are not 100% sure, I'd say just go ahead and wait. Because like I said, in about 2 days, I should have some money and I'll be able to purchase the definitive edition myself. Okay, so next up on the guide, we're going to be talking about weapons. Which weapons to develop, which ones can give you the best customization options early on so that you don't have to be building everything at once, wasting a bunch of resources when you could just be building specific ones that'll give you whatever you're looking for. So obviously, if you want to run around non-lethal, the WUS pistol is the way to go. It has a lot of range, but it is a type of bolt action kind of weapon. You fire one shot and you have to manually reload it. If you save up enough materials and you get enough staff, you will be able to make the plus SB version, which this is very powerful. If you hit anyone in the body with this, they will go down instantly. Of course, if you want to go lethal, you can, because this game is very lenient when it comes to S rank. So you can go lethal on any mission and you'll do fine in terms of S ranking. So here's some of the weapon paths for some of these weapons here. Now keep note on the little suppressor indicator. Now there's another non-lethal handgun, but the trade-off is that you sacrifice the range, but you get more fire rate, and it's the Burkov. So if you develop the Burkov, you'll be able to develop its non-lethal version. So if you don't like that whole single shot WUS pistol thing, you can definitely switch over to the Burkov and you'll have a much better time with that. Now take a look at this suppressor here on the D11-4, grade 4. This has suppressor grade 2 or medium durability. And essentially, when you can customize weapons, for example, the WUS pistol, the same exact grade and same as the Burkov, they all have a weak suppressor. However, if you unlock that suppressor that I just mentioned earlier, you will be able to go into the customization menu and give your weapon that suppressor, a stronger suppressor, early on. Now, another non-lethal secondary that you can also use is a Riot SMG. However, when you shoot people with this, it will make guards panic and they will kind of call the alert. Now, I forgot to mention, both the pistols and the submachine guns share suppressors. So if you ever want the grade 3 suppressor for your pistol, you'll have to develop the Mach 37 all the way up to its 7th grade in order to get its level 3 suppressor. So for the assault rifles, your standard MRS-4 is good enough. If you develop it to the grade 4 version, you will get the second durability of your suppressor. And mind you, the pistol suppressors and the rifle suppressors are not the same, meaning that if you unlocked a stronger pistol suppressor, you cannot put it on a rifle. You need to have a rifle suppressor to go on rifles. Of course, if you want the grade 3, you'll have to develop the MRS-4R grade 7, but that takes a lot of materials and very high level staff to do that. So don't worry about it for now. Just get your grade 2 suppressor and you'll be fine throughout the whole game. For shotties, the most popular of non-lethal shotties is the S1000 shotgun because it's very powerful and you can put a silencer on it. So the earliest that you can get a shotgun silencer is the grade 6 S1000, either the slug or the regular version. You'll be able to have a grade 2 silencer on most shotguns and it will be very powerful. Now for the grenade launchers, if you want to have an underbarrel grenade launcher attachment, you need to develop one of these grenade launchers here. Obviously, the quickest and easiest way to get yourself the non-lethal grenade launchers is through the FACL. It doesn't cost that many materials, it's not that expensive, so it is a good thing to invest in if you want to have a secondary option when it comes to your rifles and such. There is another underbarrel attachment that does also use non-lethal weapons or ammo. However, the weapon tree is a lot further along compared to the FACL. So, like I said, the FACL is the grenade launcher of choice when trying to create the underbarrel attachment. For sniper rifles, you'll see the Remnov non-lethal rifle as your obvious choice. You can run around with that if you want. However, if you want the semi-auto non-lethal rifle, you're going to need to develop the MRS-71 rifle. So build it up a little bit and you'll finally see the weapon tree for the non-lethal variant. So this one is semi-auto, meaning that you don't have to... meaning that you can just fire continuous shots over and over, compared to the other non-lethal rifles, which they are all bolt action. One neat little thing about the suppressors is that you can use the rifle suppressors. So if you already unlocked rifle suppressors, then you can already use that. Or if you unlocked the sniper rifle suppressors, you can use it with the regular assault rifles and the regular sniper rifles. So they both share that suppressor. As for the rocket launchers, the best rocket launcher from my experience is the SGM or the CGM-25, which is a part of the weapon tree of the Killer Bee. This right here fires individual rockets, which they all do their own individual damage, which that stacks up really, really quick compared to all these other single shot rocket launchers that do hefty amount of damage. Trust me on this, when you run around with that rocket launcher fighting tanks and such, you'll feel a big difference. The personal ballistic shield is pretty handy if you just have it on your back. It can protect you from getting shot from the back, so you can invest in that if you want. The decoys are very, very handy for causing a distraction, especially the active decoy. They make noise, so it'll draw guards away from wherever you want to sneak in. And the E-stun decoy, I never used it personally, but it does stun people. Obviously, you're going to need to develop your hand grenade, smoke grenade, and a little bit of your stun and sleep grenades if you have the extra materials for it. But definitely rank up the hand grenades and the smoke grenades. C4 is going to be a very handy tool for you starting out when you're trying to destroy anti-air emplacements. So definitely upgrade those. They will do a lot of damage. And they also help against vehicles as well. When you get the ability to upgrade your arm, definitely upgrade as much of these abilities as possible. They will improve Snake overall, and it will make your experience a lot better. Now, if you want to actually use the arm, I highly recommend the rocket arm because you shoot it off and you can stun people with it. Or if you want to kill people, you can use the blast version as well. It's like a remote guided missile, except it's just a fist. You'll find out soon enough. And when it comes to suits, you can definitely invest in the sneaking suits because they eliminate footprints when you're walking around and sneaking around compared to wearing a BDU. And obviously invest in the battle dress whenever you go into boss battles. So these two are like the main things that you'll probably be wearing throughout the entire journey because they do so well for you. Now let's go into the weapon customization. So the weapon customization you have to unlock by rescuing a legendary gunsmith. Once you have done that 3 times, you are now able to customize any weapon you want. So a good example here is this Hell MGR. So at grade 3, it has a very low usage requirement. It can hold 6 shells in the mag, and it doesn't have much optimization, or it doesn't have very much customization features on it. However, because I have already unlocked the latest version of it, I can attach the 20 round drum on it. What's really great about the customization menu is that when you lower down the grade of the weapon, you're lowering down the resources that you consume, but you also give yourself the perk of better customization features. As you can see here, that grade 7 version is the one where I got the 20 round drum, but look at the requirements for it in terms of the resources. It's a very big difference between the 7 and the grade 3. So that's why it's very important to have this unlocked as early as possible and try to build as much weapons as possible so that you can make a really good weapon, a really good and cheap weapon that will last you a very long time. When it comes to S ranking missions early on, I'd say don't worry about it. Just try to have fun and try to just get through the level as much as possible and just try to unlock as much things too. This game is very, very lenient when it comes to S ranking. The only thing they really care about is how fast you complete it. Take a look at this mission, for example. Everyone's firing at me, everyone's panicking. This obviously does not look like an S rank run by normal standards of Metal Gear Solid, right? Well, in this game, it is, sadly. But it's not exactly that bad. It makes it very easy for newcomers to come in and get the highest ranks possible. So like I said, don't worry about the S ranks for now. Just play the game and try to unlock the best gear possible. Because when you come back and do S rank it, you'll be happy that you gained enough. You'll be happy that you gained high power gear to help make it a lot easier for you. So, side ups are missions that you can do in free roam that give you some extra GMP or staff or whatever. The thing about side ops is that once you complete all of them, you can redo some of them. So right now I'm going to show you just 2 of the legendary gunsmiths. So these are this is the side up that you will have to do eventually if you want to unlock the customization option for your weapons. You can get this pretty early on. So as you can see here, the little blue circles means that there is a side up going on right there at this moment. The way how unlocking certain side ups works is you need to fill out a certain criteria, and on top of that you have to make sure that area is clear of any side ups. So for example, where that legendary gunsmith was in this particular area, if there's side ups going around within like a few miles of this region, it won't show up for you. You'll have to complete all of them in the region in order to unlock it. So this is just a rough estimate of what the region is. So if there's other side ups going around in that general area, do them, go to the ACC and come back. When the list updates and you still don't see the legendary gunsmith, then just keep doing the missions a little bit further out. This is very handy because you don't have to go around the entire map and complete all the side ups in one run. If you just want to go for this specific one, you just have to start beating the side ups in that general area. However, the game doesn't exactly tell you where the regions are specifically. Alright, so another thing that I wish I knew long ago. Oh, hold on. There we go. As I was saying, something that I wish I knew long ago were these special little delivery points. So in every named area, I'll show you in a bit what I mean by that. In every named area, you're going to find one of these lying around. There's going to be a little piece of paper on this board here, and you're going to pick it up. What that does is that it unlocks this place for you to travel to whenever you need to go in between bases. So of course you're going to need a cardboard box, which I forgot, so I'm just going to call one in. So when you stand here with the cardboard box, you will have an option to use it, and you'll be able to travel between bases that you have already unlocked previous delivery points. So for example, if I want to go to this base right here, I can, because I grabbed the invoice from there, and I can travel to it. This makes it very, very easy to travel around the entire map without having to go to the ACC and come back and land in the specific area you want to go in. And there you go. Most of the missions that you're going to actually no, all the missions that you're going to play, you're going to go into a named town or a named village, and they're all going to have that delivery point. So my biggest advice to you is that every time you go to a new town or something, definitely look around for it and pick it up. Now, there are some criteria when it comes to using this, and essentially there can't be any suspicion and there can't be a caution going on when it comes to the guards, or else you will not be able to travel between points. So when you do enter a town and people are on guard, you can easily just hit restart checkpoint and it'll reset the entire alert status and you can try again. You could knock out people, just make sure you reach the delivery point in time before someone discovers the body, which obviously will cancel the operation for you to use the truck. It's important to note that when you're looking for all these invoices, there are 4 named areas throughout the entire game that do not have delivery points. If I do happen to miss one, I'll be sure to update it in the comments below, but to my knowledge, I think there is only 4 that do not have delivery points. The first one is at Spookmay Keep, the second one is at these ruins, the third one is at OKB 0, and the fourth one is at the Industrial Zone. So for the resources, you're going to find these all around the game. These little boxes here, they're going to be different colors, but they're going to give you a very few amount of resources, like about 100. And those are processed materials. Processed materials are what you can use right here, right now to build stuff. However, unprocessed materials that you gain from these containers can only be given to you, can only be processed after a certain amount of time has passed. And depending on what level you are on your materials processing in your base development unit, depends on how long it's going to take for these materials to process. So for me, because I'm S rank, it's only going to take me 10 minutes. However, for those who are starting out, don't even worry about it because the wait time is so long. You're not gonna earn a lot of materials just by waiting it out. Trust me on this. Just wait until you level it up to at least an A rank, and then you'll actually start to go into it a lot more. For the GMP, you can obviously sell some stuff here. It's not really that important to keep it. However, for the vehicles that you want to drive around in, definitely keep them, don't sell them. However, if you do find some tanks, they give you 100k, and if you're doing a side op, you can easily Fulton some of them in certain side ops, and you can restart the side op and do it again. I have a video at the very end of this that shows you what I'm talking about. But essentially, selling these tanks is a very, very quick way to gain GMP. Now, another way to get a lot of GMP and resources is to do FOBs, but that's essentially player versus player, and that's very difficult, especially if you're starting out. So trust me, don't do that. However, there is these special FOB events that it's only an AI, and you can invade them and no one will retaliate on you. And you can get a lot of easy points, or not, you can get a lot of easy GMP, get a lot of resources, and you can also get special stuff from the event, like special skin colors or emblems, and even staff too, like very high rank staff. If you want to see more of that, there's more on my channel about how to do them. However, for this week, the FOB event that's going on right now is Bound Dragons, and it is the hardest FOB event in the entire bunch. However, next week will be a very easy one called Mosquito's Legacy. So just a fair warning to all of you who are just starting out, do not do the FOB event. You will be severely underpowered, and it's only going to kick your ass the entire time, and you will hate it. So just wait one more week, get all of your stuff together, get some good gear, and when the next event comes out, this beginner-friendly event comes out, then you can go and do that, and you can earn yourself a lot of good colors, staff, whatever you want. So just trust me on this. Stay away from Bound Dragons. And finally, the third way to earn a lot of resources and staff really fast is do these challenge tasks. Basically, they give you special conditions inside single player, and if you complete them, they reward you with a lot of resources and a lot of GMP. What's really good about it is that it's great for people who are starting out now, because when we first started out, when the initial game first released, that wasn't available to us. So we had to grind for everything. However, you guys that are starting out, you guys have the luxury of getting a lot of stuff given to you pretty early on. And when I restarted this game on the PS3, yeah, it was a really big difference, and everything didn't feel as difficult. So take a look at what challenges you have and see what you can do. But in all honesty, just play the game and you'll just unlock a bunch of stuff by just, playing it normally. Alright, now to the final bit of very crucial information that you guys should definitely work towards while playing this game starting out. So if you complete certain actions, you'll get specific certificates that will give you actual bonuses that will help you out in the game. So let's take a look at this one real quick. Awarded for marking experts. Enables the bearer to distinguish between enemy soldiers and the decoys they have placed. So when you're marking people in this game via your scanner or using the R3 button to zoom in and mark people that are directly in front of you, if you were to mark a dummy, it will show up on your mark as an actual enemy, and that can be very confusing at times when you're running around and you don't know what's an enemy and what's a dummy. So if you mark 500 people, you will get the certificate, and now whenever you mark a dummy, it won't be marked as an enemy anymore. It will be marked as an emplacement. So then you'll be able to tell which one is an actual person and which one is not. So definitely work towards this and just scan as many people as possible until you get this certificate. Then you don't have to really be so uppity about it, but definitely get this as soon as possible. Now the next certificate here is the Master Certificate for Fultoning people. When you get this certificate, you get a durability up along with more capacity for Fultoning people. So this is something that you really should be working towards, especially because you're going to be Fultoning people throughout the entire game to help build up your mother base. So in order to get this certificate, you need to Fulton a total of 500 people, and you will unlock the certificate and a new development item in your development menu will show up. However, when you do get the certificate, it's not over yet. There is another certificate that you have to unlock afterward. That is the Grandmaster certificate. So the Grandmaster certificate is essentially the same thing. You just got to Fulton more people. Except to get this certificate, you need to have Fulton a total of 1,000 people. And you will be able to earn this thing called the F Ballista for one of your buddies. And it's practically like a Fulton launcher. You'll be able to shoot it, and if it hits something or someone, it'll Fulton it. So it's pretty fun to use. So if you want to work towards that, definitely Fulton 1,000 people. Now, to help you along with the Fultoning, on mission 23, there is this item right here, First Aid Manual. And when you pick this up, you'll be able to develop a certain suit for one of your buddies. And what this suit does is that it allows them to Fulton people for you. And what's great about that is it doesn't cost you any GMP. It doesn't take away from any of your actual Fulton capacity. It will just Fulton it, and he'll essentially Fulton it for free, and it still goes towards your Fulton counter. So if you unlock this and you go into an area where there's a lot of enemies that you can knock out in Fulton, definitely put this on your buddy and he'll Fulton stuff for you while you're busy fighting. So it's very, very handy, and you'll be able to unlock the Grandmaster certificate in no time. Alright, so to check the progress on your markings and Fultons and such, go down to Records and Play Records. And on the top here, you'll see total markings. So that'll let you know how many you have done. So you'll know where you're at or how close you are from getting that certificate. And if you go all the way in the bottom here, you'll see right here the total Fulton extractions of people. That's where your Fulton thing is going to be tracking. So that'll at least let you know how far you are or how close you are to developing or getting those certificates. And that's about it. So that's about it for this guide. I hope I haven't really missed anything too important. There's a lot of things to really say about, tips and advice about this game. But like I said before, the tips that I just gave you right now, I really wish I knew long ago, because my gaming experience could have been a lot smoother and a lot better had I known all these things that I know now. So hopefully I'm able to pass this down to you, and you guys will be able to go a lot further and a lot faster than what I did through my journey. And to those of you who are just completely brand new, I am GamePro24X. I make a lot of videos on Metal Gear Solid 5, on farming tips, on about almost anything, along with making guides for the FOB events, how to do them, how to get the most amount possible. I keep up to date with everything. I have a Discord server if you ever want to join that. I have a little community where everyone talks to each other, helps each other in terms of like grinding or farming off of one another, or just tips in general. So if you want to consider joining that, go ahead. If you also like this video and have seen any of my other videos, I do also have a Patreon up. So if you ever want to donate, that helps, and I greatly appreciate it. I always do streams on Metal Gear Solid 5 every Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be able to stream again later today. I do have somewhat of a busy schedule and kind of a hectic one too, so I'll let you guys know in a few hours in the comments if I am going to do a stream or not, so look out for that. But yes, as I mentioned, I mostly do streams every single Tuesday, and I always talk to a lot of people, and I always have a lot of fun with everyone on the stream. So to those of you who are brand new to this entire game, the Definitive Edition, I welcome you. The game is pretty unique, and the grind wall can kind of kick you in the butt a bit, but trust me, I have a lot of videos that can help counteract it. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to all the playlists, to all the current methods that still work today. So if you ever need any help with that, definitely go check out those videos. Leave a comment on any of the videos if you have any questions, or if you're on Discord, ask around or try asking me. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I'd also like to thank my current patrons, Joshua DJ, and my newest one, Nicola. So thank you guys for your support and your donations. I greatly appreciate it. As I mentioned, I will be getting this game in about 2 days. And of course, because Ground Zeroes cannot be transferred over to Definitive Edition, I will have to replay it again. But hey, that's fine. I'll probably just stream it and we'll all get to enjoy it together. So, yep. Anyways, this is GamePro 24X. I hope this guide was helpful to you, and I will see you guys later.